Of course, lots of sporting action happening in and around the globe, and of course, lots of things to look forward to, from football to cricket to rugby and every other thing else in between. Well, what's a weekend without sports? And of course, we're trying to make sure that you get nothing but the very best. That is why we're bringing in our very own in-house sports analyst and talking about Adeni Ajishafe. Always on point with the sports.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right, so lots of interesting developments coming in. I mean, like we're getting some news from Turkey.
Yes, according to the news, just featuring that Christian Asu, the Ghanaian player, I know the first time the news came out that he was found alive, but later it was refuted by the club, and now they're saying, news flying around now that is confirmed or unconfirmed, that he's actually dead, but really so painful.
It's really
for
sad.
the past 11 days now, it has been a lot of serious, rigorous search for this man, and all that ones under the rubble. But so painful. 5 days or 6 days ago, the agents came out that they saw 2 pairs of his shoes.
Okay.
And just this morning, even before I actually got into the studio, the news came out that his agent also, from the sad story we are hearing, that Asu could actually be confirmed there, and so it's so painful from the way it is.
But that report is still unconfirmed. We're still seeking clarification.
Because, quickly, I tried to search for it on some but from the way it is, since it's already going, but let's just wait a bit.
Exactly.
By the time the club fully comes out with a statement.
It is quite sad.
It is, considering people were really happy when the news came out that, confirming that he was alive, he was found
later
alive.
The club said no, it wasn't.
Exactly.
It wasn't
So
found.
But hope, we still had hope. You understand? Hope sprung eternal that he will actually be found safe and sound. And if that is the case now, and if this is confirmed, then I think it's a really, really sad thing to happen to world football generally, and of course, our heart goes out to all those involved.
And especially all the people that actually lost their life in Turkey and Syria.
Exactly.
Because it's a sporting world, but really over 37,000 people confirmed.
It was getting exactly. It's still rising. Yeah, it's quite an unfortunate thing to have happened to the world. So, and it's actually nice to see how the world of sport is actually banding together in times like this, because I've seen across leagues, when it comes to football matches being played in the Champions League, there was lots of recognition for all that actually happened, and I think it's sports has still served to be a rallying point for things like that. We're still talking about sports and thinking about things that are happening, and the ones that are going to happen as well. The under-20 Flying Eagles.
Yes, it's going to actually start on Sunday.
Okay.
All teams are already over there in Cairo, Egypt. Precisely, we focus on our own.
Exactly.
Under 20, we got them Flying Eagles. They'll be playing tomorrow against Senegal, and it's going to be a tough one, because we know how the Senegalese players or team always play their kind of football. But right now, if you look at the senior team, they are the champions of Africa. Exactly. And also, even in the CHAN, they are also champions. So Nigeria playing against them tomorrow, at least we want to prove a point that this particular under 20, we are the king of Africa. We actually conquer West Africa, and we'll be going to Africa now. And it would be nice if they are able to win this. It will actually get them to go into over there in Indonesia. So
Senegal now, are they the new African powerhouse? Because
maybe,
you just said
maybe for the senior, but for this under 20,
yeah.
If everything goes well with our team, looking at what they did against Zambia and that friendly, and all the friendly they played so far, Coach Ladambo has been able to at least put finishing touches in those areas where he saw lapses. But right now, we just saw that the boys will believe in themselves, that they can actually do this. It was in 2015 that we last won it. Exactly. And it's possible that they can actually scoop this again. All eyes are on Flying Eagles now. Everything is in place. We are waiting to see what they will be doing according to if you look at how they have played so far, they've shown that they are ready for this. But you never can tell until, like Maradona said, when you get to the pitch, the ball dictates. So we just hope that tomorrow they will start on a very, very good note. Okay.
All right. Well, we hope that happens as well. And of course, they go on to the World Cup to represent Nigeria. We're talking about some academy football generally. When you talk about the age grades, we used to be fantastic when it comes to
yes. When it comes to, in fact, Nigeria, when it comes to underage football. 2017, even for the girls too. So we are not pushovers. We are really respected. If you look at it, 7-time champions, it's not it means at all.
Yeah.
Aside the fact that if we continue with the way the young players under 20, under 17 play football, allowing that to actually move to the Super Eagles, by now we should be among the best in the world.
Exactly.
Despite the fact that after we use this, we play these players, we dump some of them. By the time they want to get the Super Eagles, now we pick some players again. But assuming they are actually moving from one stage to the other, expect that they will actually work together as a team. Become part of that team very, very huge, and it will give us that room for us to win World Cup or for us to be known as one of the best in Africa.
Exactly. Remember what happened in 1993? The bulk of the team that actually won the Under-17 World Cup,
moved to
they moved to the under 23, and then we got that was when we got the gold medal in Atlanta, and then they moved to the national team as well, and we saw very, very good results there. And of course, in 2005 as well, the Under-20 national team that actually went there and went to the final in Netherlands. They actually moved as well. But after that, things just stalled.
Well, I think one way or the other, maybe it's going to come back now. Let's see what the current, the new NFF will be bringing to Nigerian football. Let's not be selfish. Let's delay the also. Let's talk about the
exactly.
Right now, Super Falcons will also be playing. Precisely, they will be facing Colombia. They're actually playing a four-nation friendly, although the 4 teams they've qualified for the World Cup: Mexico, Nigeria, Colombia, Costa Rica. They will be playing at the Women's World Cup, but we lost our first game by a lone goal against Mexico over there, also in Leon, in Mexico. So the second game will also be coming up. That's Super Falcons to fighting the team ahead of the World Cup. They will be going to Turkey also to play another set of friendly, just to get the team in top shape before they move to Australia, New Zealand, at least to make you happy that we are not leaving the
moment. Of course. I was about to attack.
And the other one will be happening for this weekend is the NBA All-Stars over there in Utah, Salt Lake City, where the Western Conference, Eastern Conference bring together their best players that have been picked.
All-Star weekend is a big deal.
A big one.
It's a big deal when it comes to the NBA.
Right now, you look at that, the team that West is being led by LeBron James, the record breaker. You have Giannis Antetokounmpo there leading the East Conference.
Do we call him our very own now?
Maybe. Even though the spell is not looking like
exactly. We know it's Antetokounmpo. Everybody knows it's Antetokounmpo. Exactly.
The Greek actually changed to Antetokounmpo. You can't change it now.
And now he's known as the Greek freak, actually.
But really, the guy has really pitched himself with Nigeria. One way check most of his colors. He's always green, white, green. He's always talking about Nigeria. Just like Karim Adeyemi said.
Exactly. Fufu is the fuel.
that has been trending.
NBA All-Stars for this weekend, a big one, big one across. In fact, the whole world want to see what's going to be happening concerning this time around. Who will be winning? Is it Team LeBron or Team Giannis?
All right, Giannis, LeBron. Let me put you on the spot.
Myself? You know, I always sit on the fence.
You fall from that fence one day.
I know what I won't fall. You know what I won't fall.
Right.
I know where to place my leg.
Okay. All right. Now, quickly before we go, I'll be remiss if I don't talk about this with you. Victor Osimhen. How good is he this season?
Fantastic player right now. 18 goals so far this season. He has done it. Yesterday, he was able to score one of the goals against the match they won.
Yeah, against Swodo, I guess. Yeah.
So right now, Osimhen having a particular player from Georgia called Visha Kvaratskhelia has really helped him. Osimhen right now has scored 18 goals for Napoli. In Italian Serie A, a record that is not common. Why? Italian Serie A, we know they play defensive football, so it's not easy for a striker to always get goal. But this guy has been able, against all odds, to do this. In Europe right now, aside this Man City player, talking about Erling Haaland, the next person you think of is Osimhen. And that has actually increased on the way people have been talking about him, at least his performance, the belief in him and all that. Hopefully, from the way I see Osimhen scoring 100 goals in his career, when you talk about professional football, he has played with Wolfsburg, Charleroi, Lille and all that. But right now, scoring 100 goals at that age, and from the way he's going, I see Osimhen
still has a long way to
adding
go.
more, and be sure Napoli may not be able to keep him for long.
Exactly.
Osimhen will actually
but they
go
bought him
places
for
and-
big money a few seasons ago. They bought him for big money for seasons, and lots of eyebrows were raised.
Yes, I'm not even looking at. I'm looking at the fact that there is hope for Nigeria now to pick that African Footballer of the Year. Because if you check right now across Europe, in all the top 5 leagues in Europe, Osimhen seems to be outstanding more than any other African player.
Absolutely.
Mo Salah is quiet.
Sadio Mane
is quiet.
Exactly.
It's as if right now everything favors him, because both those two players, if they were to be at their peak,
Exactly.
Osimhen would
Would
be
not
able
have had a
to
chance.
compete with them.
Yeah.
But right now, both of them are actually quiet in the EPA, in German Bundesliga, and that has given Osimhen that opportunity to pick it before they wake up from their slumber.
Exactly.
Let him pick it.
he might have an edge. Yeah, and of course his partnership with Kvaratskhelia is absolutely fantastic. And well, Napoli are seeing some light at the end of the tunnel.
Of course, after 3 years.
Exactly. I think renaming the stadium actually had something to do with it.
Well, maybe the spirit of
The spirit of Maradona, exactly.
is pushing Osimhen. I love the fact that Argentina and Nigeria will always meet at the World Cup, and it's always a fantastic one.
True.
Exactly.
So maybe the connection from Argentina is leading to Osimhen to get this done. But really, fantastic performance from Victor Osimhen. That pair between himself and Kvaratskhelia has really worked out for him, and it's going where that it's like, if you remember when Obafemi Martins was in Inter
exactly.
both of them had a very good understanding, and the same thing is working for Osimhen and also for Kvaratskhelia.
Should some credit go to Luciano Spalletti?
Yes, the coach believing in him. It's not everybody that actually throw a player like that will go and do it. A lot of them don't really believe in black players. Let me use that word. And aside that, the fact that, let me just see what he can do. But for him to believe and get that player from Leeds, that shows that he saw something, and that thing he saw is actually glowing right now.
All right. Well, this is absolutely fantastic. We can talk sports all day.
Let's go.
Unfortunately, we do. Unfortunately, we do not. Unfortunately, we do not have all day. Well, thank you very much for coming in and, of course, giving us those insights into the world of sports this morning. Adeni Ajishafe.
What's the way to call that?
Exactly.
You have to pay some money.
All right. Well, that's absolutely fantastic. Talking sports right here on Daybreak Extra this morning. We'll take a short break, and when we return, the program continues. Do stay with us.